Hi, I'm Jessie Budzinski. I'm the Assistant Department Chair for Human Services, and I'm here today with Shannon Wegner, and she is going to talk to us about her experience at PG and what she's doing in the field now. So, Shannon, if you don't mind starting with the degree that you graduated with and how long ago you graduated.
Okay, so I graduated in 2013 with the Human Services Bachelor's and with the specialization in child and welfare. Right? Yes, I think that's what
Yeah,
it is.
yep, Child, Family, and Welfare. Yeah.
Yeah, so that is child and family welfare is my starting point.
Okay, and then how was your experience at PG?
I loved it. I actually was just talking with some other of my staff because oddly enough, Facebook memory just popped up right before this, and I was so excited to announce at that time that I was the newsletter editor. So I got to participate in that, which I absolutely loved. So anytime you can be a part of any of those extra things, it's a phenomenal way to kind of um, solidify all of those things because you get to work with such a broad range of people and different experiences, either that they are new to the human services field or they have some experience, and then where their passions are. So it was a really good opportunity for me to be able to just answer more questions and connect with people on a better level.
That's awesome. And was that through the Human Services Club that you did that?
Yes.
Yeah,
Yes.
okay. Yeah, that's great. That's great. Yeah, and I always try to plug that club because I feel like it's if for students if they want to do, I always say if there's if you're thinking about doing one thing, that is a great one additional thing to do because you can network and meet other people who are interested in similar things. So that's great. That's a great plug for that. Thank you. So can you tell us a little bit about what you've been doing since you graduated?
Sure. So when I started working towards my degree, I actually had just become a licensed foster care provider.
Okay.
And that's really what led me to making sure that I really understood and had a different level of the system because becoming a foster parent, I really had no idea. And then learning about the systemic issues surrounding foster care and learning all of those things is what really brought me to PG and understanding how I could do things on a different, more systemic level. So once I graduated, I got into the nonprofit work and I started providing supervised visitation, parent education. I moved into post adoption support and started doing some of those things. And I did that for about 6 years. And then I actually founded a nonprofit myself. And so we are kind of doing very similar things, support groups, supervised visits, parent education. We've got a family home visiting program. We now have a clinical program. So we're doing, so we really are working hard to insulate families that are involved in the child welfare system. So, and then we also work with probation departments and family court systems and domestic violence shelters and some things like that. So we really kind of expanded our services in the last just under 4 years.
Okay.
And it's been an awesome opportunity. We've gotten, large grants. We just got a huge grant from the Minnesota Department of Education, and they're going to help partially fund a family resource center. So we will be expanding then to build a resource center. So yeah,
that's incredible.
Yeah. So then, we now have 3 office locations. We serve about 17 counties consistently across the state of Minnesota. So
amazing. You must be so proud of that.
It's much bigger than me. I just keep stepping up and saying yes and trying to fill those gaps in our more rural communities.
Right.
So I'm just loving it. I'm actually now headed back to school. I just started a couple weeks ago. I'm working towards getting my master's in clinical mental health. So
that's awesome.
Yeah, so PG was an awesome starting point for me and really helped me understand the systems and the family needs and how to support these families going forward. So
I love that. I was actually going to ask that if you feel like you had what you needed and that you were, in terms of your degree, if it allowed you to kind of pursue all of these opportunities that you have, if you felt prepared.
Yes, ma'am. And I love the passion that the professors had, because I didn't come in contact with one professor that wasn't willing to give beyond just the classroom.
Mm.
There's one professor that I'm still in contact with all these years later, and I just love that, because I'm still able to reach out and say, hey, what are your thoughts on this? This is kind of
Great.
what I'm passionate about, and this is what I'm finding. Do you have any thoughts or ideas? So I think having some mentors in your world as you step into this work, because it can be heavy, it can be taxing.
Mm-hmm.
So it's so important to have those connections to be able to support you as you begin.
Absolutely. And that's actually how I was introduced to you. Is I was actually in that classroom of the professor you're talking about, and she was sharing your story just to be so that you could be a role model for other students, because what you're doing is so amazing. So hearing that connection, I didn't realize you graduated so long ago. Actually, when you said the year, I was like, oh my gosh, I didn't realize that. So the fact that you guys are still so close and that you're still connected, I love that.
Yeah.
So what do you think, and I know this is kind of thinking back a little bit, so while you were in school, but also through this career that you've grown, what has helped you to persist and to keep with it? Because this is heavy work, like you said, it's hard.
Yeah, I think the drive, right? When you talk about, my favorite class was Survey of Social Problems, and
Mm,
I think just that passion really ignited in some of these classes, and that drive to really make a change, and the ripple effect, and understanding how something small, when you work with these families, when you support these systems, the impact you can have on this one family in this moment then trickles down or ripples into everything else, because that one family is going to impact another family or impact things. We have families that have been with us for 3 years receiving parent education. We have families that have completed their programs and they have reunified, and they're doing a beautiful job and they're successful, and they send pictures of kiddos and their families and share milestones with us. And so that really, to me, is what kind of keeps me going,
yeah.
is all those little rewards along the way.
Right, right. That's huge. That's huge. And I feel like I've heard you give some advice as we've been talking, but if you had to give like specific advice to somebody who's currently in our human services program, what would you share with them?
Oh, stick with it,
Yeah.
right? It's going to feel like, oh, I just can't. But stick with it, because there's a reason why you're here, and there's a plan and a purpose. And so I think that just being able to have grace for yourself,
Yep.
and to be open to learning along the way, because your education doesn't end when you get that degree.
So
So
true.
just absorbing all the things that you can within the classroom setting, and from your advisors and your student advisors and your peers. And sometimes those discussion boards can seem a little daunting, so it's like, but really it's such a great opportunity to learn
Right.
perspective of so many different people. And so I slow down,
Yep.
and just enjoy it. There's no need to rush. So I think that's my biggest piece.
That's great advice. That's great advice. And is there anything else that you would want to share that I haven't asked you about?
No, I'm so excited for all upcoming students, and I'm excited more for what they're going to do out into the world,
Hmm.
and the impact that they're going to have with wherever the degree may lead them, whether this is their ending point or this is their launching pad. Like, I'm just excited for everybody to get out there and make a difference.
Yeah. Thank you so much, Shannon. I really appreciate it.
Absolutely.
Okay, just hold on just a sec. I'll stop this.